I'm gonna know exactly what minutes 30 seconds. No, there you go, you go Japan. Oh.
It's like, you know, you got the probe or whatever.
Ryan Garcia teaming up with David Benavidez ahead of his matchup with Mario Barrios might sound impressive at first glance, but it takes on a whole new meaning once you see what's actually unfolding behind the scenes. These aren't just showy sparring sessions for social media. Ryan is absorbing genuine ring intelligence from someone who thrives under pressure. Benavidez is guiding him through the Philly shell, not the Instagram-friendly version, but the raw, practical style that allows you to weave inside punches and respond instantly without losing your stance.
Now let's talk about this footage where David Benavidez is throwing strikes at Ryan, and Ryan is trying to do the silly shell, trying to roll his shoulder and then return with an uppercut, just like we said in the war room. If he can perfect the silly shell, everybody's going to be in a world of hurts. If he perfects it, because he has the hand-eye coordination and reflexes to make you miss like that. If he perfects it as far as punching out of it with an uppercut, you don't see him throw uppercuts like that. Like bam, bam. If he perfected jab and dip, jab, left hook. If he perfected, he's a pro.
This work is crucial for Ryan because it teaches him how to handle situations where raw speed won't solve everything. Then came a speed drill that turned heads around the gym. Ryan's already known as one of the fastest fighters in the sport, yet here's David, a bigger, stronger man, tracking him step for step, matching his reflexes, never losing rhythm. That's not just skill. That's top-tier genetics combined with flawless timing.
It's crazy how David Benavidez, as a cruiserweight, can even keep up with Ryan Garcia as a welterweight. And really, Ryan Garcia is the fastest fighter in the game. And still, David Benavidez, Ryan Garcia doing a speed challenge, and David Benavidez is keeping up.
Let's go, baby!
You could actually see Ryan's admiration growing as the session unfolded. Watching someone of that size move fluidly, match his pace, and still make smart decisions while throwing combinations, that's the kind of challenge Ryan needs. Facing a fighter like Barrios, who's steady, resilient, and patient, this type of training is exactly what prepares him for the real fight.
Ryan Garcia is faster than David Benavidez, and he should be. And Ryan Garcia being as fast as he is, I just think it's more impressive to me that the Mexican monster
The goal isn't for Ryan to mimic David's approach. It's about honing his own reactions when the pressure is real. And the moment you watch Ryan take in those lessons quietly, without trying to steal the spotlight, that's when you realize this training camp is operating on a whole other level.
Oh.
It's like, you know, you got the probe or whatever.
Right after Ryan lays out the whole misdirection and magician at work narrative, Joe Goossen steps in and completely shifts the focus. Now, it's not a fighter guarding his mystique. You're listening to a coach defending principles. When Joe talks about being stunned, it doesn't come off as bitterness. It's genuine bewilderment, like someone who assumed respect was still the standard in the sport. What makes this compelling is that he isn't throwing shots at Ryan. Instead, he's emphasizing loyalty, effort, and how unthinkable it would be to refuse working with a reigning champion like Mario Barrios.
Call for Mario Barrios was like, well, what fool would turn that down?
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean,
Naturally.
it would be absurd. Well, look, Ryan could be breaking down, looking at a fight, breaking down the tape. He's no dummy. These guys all look at each other and say, oh, if I only got in the ring with him, I could capitalize on this or that. I'm not going to give Ryan any idea.
That's classic, old-school thinking applied to modern hype. I love how Joe keeps redirecting the conversation to fundamentals, pointing out how Barrios performed against Manny Pacquiao. He's essentially showing what kind of fighter earns respect before earning time in the gym. When he shifts to breaking down defense, tightening details, and minimizing errors to near perfection, that's Joe Goossen in his element. Less talk, more structural work. He even references the Rolando Romero situation without bragging, simply illustrating that in boxing, habits get punished, not personalities.
But, you know, again, we're both working to the same goal. You want to tighten the screws on the defense to where it's almost impenetrable. Okay? And then, you know, that's the first rule of order, is to get that defense tight. Because at the top of the game, these guys are offensively really accurate.
What really stands out is how Joe refuses to get sucked into the online chatter, ignoring the hype and social media noise, and stays entirely focused on the gym, the craft, and the tradition. While Ryan's camp leans into illusions, speed, and momentum, Goossen's approach is all about fundamentals, repetition, and ingrained habits. You're seeing two entirely different energies, both intentional. That contrast is what makes this so compelling. This isn't drama over loyalty or betrayal. It's a meeting of modern boxing spectacle and old-school discipline. One side feeds off chaos, the other thrives on structure. And when these approaches clash in the ring, there's no room for excuses, only results.
How hard you work on it, sometimes you just get caught in the wrong spot, you know, defensively.
You know,
To put a final cap on it, Marcus, it's just that you try to limit the mistakes you make and limit the opportunities defensively that you give your opponent. You have to limit those to zero if you can do.
Once Joe Goossen finishes emphasizing discipline, structure, and his tighten every screw approach, Henry Garcia, Ryan's dad, jumps in, and the energy shifts immediately. Now it's not about blueprints or technique. It's about conviction, legacy, and unfinished business. You can feel it the moment Henry starts recounting Ryan's amateur battles with Shakur Stevenson. For him, boxing is bigger than rounds or titles. It's personal history that never fades. While some might shrug off the talk of rivalries and politics, in this context it's crucial. It explains exactly why Henry treats the Mario Barrios fight with such intensity. He never minimizes Barrios. He keeps returning to points like preparation, reach, mental toughness, and pacing, showing he respects the challenge fully. When Henry says Ryan pays attention to him, that's not a joke, that's authority in action.
Do you feel like it would be hard to find sparring partners for a style like Mario Barrios?
No, not at all. I seen how he fights, you know, and it's nice. I mean, it's good. Again, I respect all boxers, you know, but it's not gonna be hard to find sparring partners, you know. Just gotta have the same height, you know, as he is, and that's it. Just go from there. But Ryan's tall too, so it's gonna be nice.
That's a father making it clear who has the final say when all distractions are stripped away. I like how Henry positions Barrios as a genuine challenge. There's no hype, no fear-mongering, just a test that demands total readiness. No shortcuts, no excuses. He even shuts down the idea that outside life should affect performance, emphasizing that once the bell rings, it's all about the fight. It's a firm stance, but that's the mindset of someone who lives the sport. The contrast here is fascinating. Joe Goossen speaks like a surgeon, meticulously cutting down errors. Henry speaks like a guardian, keeping Ryan mentally sharp and confident. And that's exactly where the Barrios matchup sits, between disciplined experience and raw energy. Barrios offers patience, fundamentals, and consistent pressure. Ryan brings speed, belief, and unpredictability. But Henry isn't glorifying chaos. He's selling a controlled confidence built on preparation. Whether you buy it or not, one thing is undeniable. Ryan's camp is taking this fight seriously, and nobody in his corner commands more authority than his father.
And now you have Barrios, you had Devin Haney too at 47. First things first, we got to get through Barrios, and Barrios he's just somebody you got to, be prepared, be well prepared for,
In the comments here, did the divorce affect Ryan at all?
Did the what?
The divorce.
Well, he isn't divorced.
Okay.
He isn't divorced.
Coming off Henry Garcia laying out that old-school, dad-driven compass, Andre Dirrell jumps in and shifts the focus from belief to mechanics. And this is where the conversation gets challenging in a constructive way. Andre isn't criticizing Ryan. He's analyzing him, and there's a clear difference. When he labels Ryan a renegade, it makes sense. That independent streak has been both Ryan's greatest asset and his biggest risk. He relies on instincts over a strict plan, which can either light up the ring or create a long, frustrating night. Andre keeps returning to the same point. Raw speed and power can create highlights, but it's fundamentals that carry you through a full fight, especially against an opponent built to stay composed and make you prove yourself round after round. Mario Barrios is exactly that fighter. He's not flashy. He doesn't chase drama. He's a welterweight whose foundation is grounded in fundamentals, who knows spacing, rhythm, and how to weather pressure without losing his head. That's why Andre's perspective hits home.
Ryan does beat Barrios.
Do you think he beats? Do you think he beats him first?
If he does, it's gonna be because of his speed. It was he wasn't it. Let me pause for a second. My 10%. I got time probably. If he does beat him, it's gonna be because of his speed matched with his power, and he possibly puts Mario Barrios down. Right. My thing with Ryan is this, man. He never has a game plan. He promises the left hook. He's going to give you the left hook. You never really see him set up shots. You see him more so just executing and then backing out and then executing again.
Andre's point is clear. If Ryan comes out on top, it likely requires something dramatic early, maybe a knockdown, a sudden shift in momentum, or a burst of speed that changes the rhythm. But if that spark doesn't connect perfectly, Barrios' quiet, methodical discipline starts to accumulate round by round, the kind of consistency that judges reward but highlight reels rarely capture. What stands out is how Andre frames this as a genuine coin flip. He's not hyping one fighter over the other or dismissing anyone. It's a matchup of opposing styles. Ryan's instinctive explosiveness versus Barrios' steady structure. Spontaneity against repetition. That's the real tension here. This fight isn't about popularity, press conference bravado, or who can create the flashiest narrative. It's about whether Ryan can combine his natural speed and power with patience, or if Barrios will turn the bout into a test of fundamentals that never lets Ryan catch his breath. Andre isn't criticizing Ryan. He's issuing a caution from experience. Raw talent without a consistent strategy can become predictable under pressure. And against someone like Barrios, predictability is punished methodically. That's what makes this matchup so dangerous, not because Ryan can't win, but because Barrios doesn't need chaos to succeed. He only needs time, precision, and patience.
He's sort of like a renegade when it comes to boxing, man. He's just gonna get in the ring. If you shoot, I'm shooting. You know what I'm saying? That's who Ryan is. I think Barrios is really solid in the fundamentals. Like, he's a fundamental boxer first, right? So that can get him past and lead him to winning this fight just off the fundamentals, man. So I don't really know. That's a 50-50.
You step back and connect all the pieces. The picture becomes clay. Ryan Garcia isn't just bouncing from one approach to another. He's layering lessons from multiple angles. You've got the pressure and timing insights from David Benavidez, the structure and disciplined methodology coming through Goossen from the Barrios camp, and the belief and mental alignment reinforced by Henry Garcia. Then there's Andre Dirrell, cutting through the noise with a simple reminder: fundamentals always win in the end. Right in the center of all of this sits Mario Barrios, calm, composed, and perfectly comfortable letting chaotic energy fizzle out on its own. That's why this fight doesn't feel like hype anymore. It reads like a genuine examination. Ryan's explosive speed, confidence, and unpredictability versus Barrios' patience, technical discipline, and measured round-by-round control. Point one side is all about sharpening instincts under fire. The other is focused on eliminating errors before they even appear. No shortcuts, no theatrics. Just two completely different approaches clashing under the lights. That if Ryan can find the right balance between aggression and control, momentum swings quickly in his favor. But if Barrios gets the space to settle into his rhythm, the bout subtly tilts toward him. That tension, that razor-edge dynamic, that's exactly why this fight carries real significance.
Anything that's has to do with marriage, whether it's an argument or a separation or, like you said, divorce, it's going to affect the boxer somewhat, but a professional boxer should know that that's his job, what he has to do, and he's got to really put everything aside and just focus on what's at hand. And that's something that you don't want to use as an excuse to say, the only thing that you could use for an excuse, if something happened during training camp that still is carrying over the fight.
Share your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your perspective. And make sure you hit like, spread the video, and subscribe.